Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there. Oh, Canada. Hello, kids, and welcome back to another week of Marvel Tales, I am Phil, joining me as always. Oh, the other Snowbird. Hello.
The other Snowbird.
The Snow Owl.
Just in the L, swooping back in north of the border.
The North American white owl. That's right, kids. If you couldn't tell, yes, we're going to do more Alpha Flight. It's been a while. This time we're going to keep going with issues 5 through 8 of the original series.
Our first episode proved to be quite popular.
Yeah.
We got over 200 views, I think, on YouTube.
I was going to say, yeah, that's on YouTube. Yes, we did get a decent amount on there. So, that was going to be my other thing. I was going to say, how long? I should look that up. Because, I mean, that was within the first year.
Yeah, it was the first handful of episodes that we did.
Oh, crap. Okay. We did the first 4 issues of Alpha Flight, episode 3.
Oh, wow. It was really. Yeah.
Yeah. This is 82, kids.
We're up to 82.
Ah.
Oh, it's been a long time coming.
I know. I'm like, it could have been that long ago, but yes, it was.
We'll have to add some more to the roster.
Yeah, whenever we get a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I reread these. I'm like, I had read these before, but maybe only once or twice. Because, like, a lot of my Alpha, I wasn't really, like, a hardcore collector when it was out. Like, a lot of it I've gotten through back issues, but,
yeah.
So I've read these a few times, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, when I started reading it was after this era.
Mm-hmm.
It was when Bill Mantlo was writing it. And so it was a much different team. But I knew about this. Obviously, I knew about this stuff. But yeah, I had to get these back issues. And I loved them. I loved them from the moment that I started the first issue up to, I think it was 25 through 30, somewhere in that span was when the creative team changed. But that first 25 some odd issues is just gold. Solid gold. I love it.
Yeah, oh yeah, because wasn't that, didn't Mantlo and Byrne kind of just like switch places?
They swapped.
Yeah, yes. They swapped Alpha Flight for the Hulk book, yeah.
The Hulk, that's exactly what happened. Yep. With varying degrees of success, but that's another conversation.
Oh my!
I love John Byrne, but that Hulk series is
Byrne getting the burn.
It's not really my favorite. I really have to admit that. Yeah. I loved his She-Hulk much better than his Hulk, but that's just my personal preference.
No, I don't know what's the secret to Byrne's success. If there's not a character he wants to F in there, it's more difficult for him.
Well, no, because that didn't apply with Namor. And it was absolute triumph. I don't know.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's a whole other conversation.
You're not the person to be casting stones at that glass house, sir.
My favorite biscuit. We'll be talking about him later in the year, actually. The John Byrne.
Oh, yes.
Namor. Around my birthday.
Yes, for your birthday month, yes.
I'm so happy about that.
Oh, boy. That's what I need for your birthday. Yes, I need some male strippers to pop out of a cake. What do you need them to look like? Well, can they wear green Speedos? Okay. Dark hair? Yes. Can their head be kind of triangular? What? You heard me? Slap some Spock ears on them, too. My friend is a man of refined taste.
That's right. He has very specific taste.
Oh. All right, should we get to these issues? Which
yes,
it's kind of weird. I mean, they're good, but it's like we really don't get the full team in any of these.
Yeah, it's really interesting that really the only time, I think I even mentioned this on the first episode that we did of Alpha Flight. The only time that the team is actually together is the first issue, and then after that, there's all kinds of stuff. Like remember in the second issue, Marina went crazy and slashed Puck's guts out, and then fled off into the ocean. And then all that other stuff happened. So John Byrne split up that team right off the bat. He wasn't interested in having them do any unified team stuff at all. I mean, I guess it works if you kind of want to give a spotlight to everybody, but it's just it's kind of weird. It's they finally get their own book and they're not together for a good chunk of it. This first year. In a way, it's interesting though because it gives a chance, as we'll discuss in these issues, it gives a chance to focus on some of the individual members of the team and kind of flesh their characters out.
Yes. As
a spotlight, rather than in the context of a team book where 7 or 8 characters are constantly juggling for space.
Yes.
To have their own narratives heard. These characters are all quite complex. So I feel that the decision to have their origins be fleshed out in this way with these individual spotlights was a good one.
Oh yeah.
And then we get the little backups in the back that do even more.
Oh yeah.
As far as the origins of these characters, it's great.
Oh yeah, because again, this first issue 5, Puck and Shaman are the only 2 members to appear in this issue, and they were last seen in Alpha Flight number 2.
Right. Yeah, because the other members of the team were dealing with the master of the world and all that stuff, and the Plodex, and so funny.
All right, let's get to this. Oh yeah, we have more backups in these too. So, All right, so get Puck on the cover there. Alpha Flight number 5 from December 1983. What fools these mortals be? All right, writer, penciler, and inker, Mr. John Byrne. Getting that money.
Burn. Doing it all.
Colorist Andy Yanchus, letterer Tom Morzalski, and editors Denny O'Neil and Linda Grant. All right, and like you said, Puck's in the hospital because Marina kind of gutted him. Which we'll discuss this after I do these, but because again, I don't know, they kind of retcon Puck a little bit later, don't they?
They do. Yeah. They mess with his origin a bit. Yeah. At
a hospital in Fort Albany, Michael, 2 young men, sounds like an alias for you, treats his comrade Puck for injuries he sustained at the hands of the feral Marina. He combines his medical knowledge with that of Sarsi mysticism in order to reduce Judd's pain. Later that night, the painkillers wear off and Puck begins suffering terribly from his wounds. He tries to summon a nurse, but no one responds. Getting out of bed, he scampers down the hall to the nurse's station where he stumbles upon Nurse Daly. She appears flustered and fumbling about with several vials of painkillers. Puck suspects that she may be an addict. The following day, Puck consults with Chief Administrator Dr. Craigborn. Craigborn wants to call the police concerning Daly's possible drug problem, but Judd suspects that the issue may be larger than just one junkie nurse. He asks Craigborn to give him 48 hours to resolve the mystery. That night, Judd catches Nurse Daly meeting with her supplier. He tracks them back to a boathouse and gets into a fight with 2 drug dealers. He succeeds in defeating them, but also manages to tear open his stitches. Puck passes out onto the floor. He awakens back inside his bed at the Fort Albany Hospital. He speaks with Dr. Craigborn and a detective named Sergeant McNamara. McNamara has concluded that Nurse Daly was the actual ringleader of the entire drug operation. After McNamara leaves, Craigborn attempts to give Judd a sedative. Puck realizes that the needle is actually filled with insulin and punches Craigborn. He knows that Craigborn is the true ringleader of the drug operation and was letting Nurse Daly take the fall. Puck calls Sergeant McNamara to come back and pick up the corrupt doctor. So that's the main story. So
The A story.
Yes. And like I was saying, like I was trying to remember, like later on, did they retcon it where, like here, Puck is just like a little person, like a dwarf, but it's like later on, isn't it just he used to be of average size, but was it like a curse or something was placed on him? And like,
yeah, there was a mystical demon called Razor.
Yeah.
Which kind of like inhabited his body, and in doing so, it kind of like condensed his body down to the size of a little person. Yeah,
I don't think he was invulnerable, but didn't it make him like harder to injure and stuff?
Yeah, it changed him physically.
Yeah,
but beyond just the stature. Yeah, I don't think it gave him like a healing factor or anything like that. But
I think he was just tougher to hurt. Yeah. So but that was out long after Byrne was gone. So.
Yeah, there was a Bill Mantlo thing. I think that was around issue 50, if I remember right.
Says something like that.
Because they busted up the team again around issue 50, and they whittled it down to a trio back then. So I think that was right around then. And Loki was involved with that story. That was a wild one. We'll cover that one sometime. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that it was a mystical curse. I liked the fact that he was like a little person, a dwarf. I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, because you don't see a lot. You don't see a lot of little people superheroes now.
Exactly, that was singularly unique in comic books at the time, and I really enjoyed that. And he was an awesome member of Alpha Flight.
Yeah,
and sometimes later on in the series, he actually kind of held the team together. Like he was the heart and soul of the group. Mm-hmm. So to have it be this mystical affliction, I didn't like that. I thought if you want to have this mystical demon Razor or whatever be part of something, then that's fine. Have it be part of his backstory.
Yeah.
Then that's great, but don't have it. Yeah.
Like it's not a science fiction-y thing you have to explain. There are little people in the world. But,
exactly.
Yeah, like if you wanted to do the Razor thing and say, oh, that's why he doesn't age, be like, okay, so he doesn't age.
Yes. Yeah, that's why he was around in like World War I.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he's harder to kill when you try to fight him. Yeah.
But I mean, it was fine. We also get our after school special issue here, you know.
I know, right? I kind of liked that though. That it was just a bunch of drug dealers in this, rather than some 2-bit supervillain or some. Yeah. And the twist with the Doctor at the end surprised me the first time I read it. I was like, oh, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't expecting that. That's a nice little surprise there. Cool. What a twist.
Yeah. But I guess he couldn't throw too big of a threat at Puck though, because he was like injured and
definitely.
But
it was just enough of a threat for him to face in his injured condition. Yeah.
But I do like that cover, just him bouncing over from the back to the front.
So good, right? With that bright yellow background. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. Puck.
I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your boyfriend.
What the Puck?
He's just pucking around.
Oh, nice. I'm like, where's that name from? Is there like saying, oh, he's like, a hockey puck or something? He just bounces it, he like just like flies around like a hockey puck or something. I don't know.
That was always my understanding of the origins of his nickname. Yeah.
All right. So should we get to the backup?
Yeah.
All right.
Some more origin stuff.
Yes. All right. Now the origins of Alpha Flight Death Watch. All right, 15 years ago, Dr. Michael Two Young Men visits the hut of his aging grandfather, a Sarsi medicine man. The old man wants Michael to learn the rites of ancient Sarsi mysticism, but Michael considers himself a modern man and wants nothing to do with the old traditions. Returning home, he discovers that his wife, Catherine, is sick. He visits Dr. Basaraba, who informs her that her condition is terminal. Refusing to give up hope, Michael transfers her to another hospital where he can begin administering care to her personally. Their young daughter, Elizabeth, asks if Catherine is going to be okay, and Michael makes her a promise that her mother will be fine. Her condition takes a turn for the worse, however, and Catherine passes away. Elizabeth, distraught by her mother's death, blames Michael for breaking his promise and runs out of the room. That same day, Michael learns that his grandfather passed away as well. Damn.
Yikes.
Let's see. Yes, this is
a rough day, man.
Yeah. All right. This is the earliest chronological appearance of Elizabeth,
yes,
daughter. She'll be again. She's reintroduced in Alpha Flight 18 as the superhero known as Talisman.
Talisman. Yes. She's a very important member of the group after that.
Yes. Oh, and this is also the early chronological appearance of Shaman and earliest chronological appearance of Heather McNeil, who's only 12 years old in this issue.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she was just a kid in this one.
It'll become Vindicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Heather's only 12 in this backup story, so it'll only be another year or two before she meets Mac. Oh, we discussed that last time too, kids.
Keep your hands off her.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh.
Burn.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh, here's a funny one. This is the first appearance of Michael Two Young Men's grandfather. However, his disembodied skull was first seen in Alpha Flight number 1.
Yes.
So I guess this is his first appearance with skin.
Yeah. It's important. It's important to note that. Yeah.
So yeah,
there's also a character who appeared in the very first issue of Alpha Flight, whose origins we'll find out, I think, in the next issue. I remember reading that the first time. I was like, "Ooh, wow, okay."
Yeah.
I would never have put that together, but nice. All right.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
This is pretty heavy. Yeah, the stuff with Michael Two Young Men dealing with his grandfather, and then his wife's dying from cancer, and his daughter freaks out because he was convincing her basically that he could save the mom's life this whole time. Yeah, this, even though now this type of story is totally played out, back then it wasn't.
Yeah,
like this story was actually pretty new and exciting to read the first time I read it. I was like, okay, cool. He hates all of this, like this native stuff, all the mystical belief stuff. He believes only in science, and then there's this thing that science can't save, can't help.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost another version of Doctor Strange, where he's a man of science, a man of like modern medicine, and it's just he comes to another way later down the road here. He's shown a whole new.
He goes on his own kind of vision quest as well.
Yeah.
And
I mean, because Heather, there's a 12-year-old Heather in here who's basically the babysitter for his daughter, and it's like, I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just like, does everybody on the team have to know each other years before the fact that we formed this team, or?
It's a small town.
One day she's going to lead us into combat. Who? The 12-year-old who babysat my daughter.
Yeah. I've seen it in a vision.
And the child bride of our first leader.
Yeah. Yeah, what did you think of this one, Phil?
I mean, I liked it. Like I said, again, a lot of similarities to Doctor Strange, and
very much so.
But yeah, again, very good here. And again, we're not done with Shaman. We're going to get more Shaman here.
Oh, no.
Some of these backups,
This continues in the next issue, this story. Yeah.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yes.
Right.
One of my personal favorites.
Oh, nice. Oh, God, I was looking at it covered at number 5. Damn, it's Puck Harry.
Yeah, he needs to invest in some Nair.
All right, here we go. Alpha Flight. But yeah, look at that cover, man. It's just
so good.
Yes,
I love it.
Alpha Flight number 6 from January 1984. Snowblind. Once again, writer, penciler, inker, burn, colored. Almost the same. Yeah, Andy Yankus is still colorist, letterer Michael Higgins, and editor Linda Grant is the only editor this time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chief Inspector Hamilton orders an investigation of Constable Ann McKenzie's absences and restricts her to office duties. Further north, an oil rig drills up the beast Colomac the embodiment of winter. Snowbird breaks out of her cell to confront him. Mac muses on Department H's disillusion, Alpha Flight's independence from the government, and his role as a superhero. Returning home, he gets a surprising letter from Roxxon, because that always works out well.
Well, yeah. That's going to be bad news.
Mac recognizes Snowbird as the spirit of the Hodiak and the power of Nelvana and fights her with snow blindness. She transforms to a bear, an owl. Oh, I wonder if this is one of your personal yes.
It's me, your old pal, the owl.
Yes, a bear, an owl, and a human, and fights him, finally tricking him into causing an avalanche of rock, burying him beneath the tundra again. All right, so yes, how did you feel about?
I love it. The character of Snowbird is obviously one of my favorites. I love shape changers, and not just shape changers that can turn into like one thing, but like multiple different things. I love that. There was a character that George Perez later introduced called Silverclaw that was kind of like that. She could transform into whatever creature was in the Amazon rainforest or something. I really like characters like that. So Snowbird is one of my favorites, and I love this story. The fact that half of it takes place in the middle of a whiteout, a literal whiteout.
Yeah, I mean,
this dialogue.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's almost 5.5 pages. Yeah, it's completely whited out, kids. All you see is text boxes and dialogue bubbles and thought bubbles and sound effects. That's it.
That's it. Your imagination has to fill in the blanks of what's happening because it's a literal whiteout. Yes. And I loved that. I thought it was a clever little way to, because if this is the spirit of winter, the god of winter, whatever, Colomac,
yes,
then he would have this type of power easily at his disposal to use against anyone, but especially someone like Snowbird, who has heightened powers and senses.
Oh yeah, and I like Burns' art, the way he portrays people flying, like Mac and Snowbird in this issue. Both of them fly. Body language is very different flying. It's not like everyone flies the same exact way and stuff. I do like that.
Yeah, because he's using a scientific method to propel himself.
He's using that suit, and she's basically it's all her.
Yeah. And I love the fact that we had a little subplot here with Roxxon, with him getting the letter from Roxxon. I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be a nice commute home, just being able to fly home.
I know, right? Think of how much faster it would be.
Oh, yeah. No traffic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is some great artwork. I love Colomac. I think he looks so cool. The design is so great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see a lot more of these beasts later on in this series, and they're all fantastic Nemesis.
Oh, they didn't even put it on the cover, but yeah, that first page it was Assistant Editors Month, kids.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they still do that at Marvel. Assistant Editors Month.
I haven't heard them say anything about it. So I don't know. I think sometimes if they just need someone to fill in, if they just yeah. Oh, wait here we go. Linda Grant discusses the absence of a letters page and avoids writing about her taking control of Assistant Editors Month 1984 and instead show the beautiful art of Marie Severin.
Oh, there was a pin. There must have been a pin-up in this.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't on the app, so yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Should have pulled the floppies out.
I know. Mine are buried deep in my long boxes somewhere. I gotta dig them out one of these days.
That's the thing. When I was collecting the back issues, I think I found the earlier issues easier than stuff on the other side of 100. It's that's where the bigger gaps in my collection are. I don't know if just
me too.
As you got towards the end of the series, the print run got smaller and stuff.
Yeah.
Because there was a few like that, especially in the 90s. Towards the end of the series, it was harder to find back issues and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, those last few issues of Darkhawk are going to cost me a fortune if I ever want to get them. And Guardians of the Galaxy, the 90s series.
Yeah.
That one as well.
I think there's like 2 issues. Is it only like 2 issues I need to complete my Mark Spector Moon Knight run? I think it's like 55
yes.
and 57 or something. Yeah.
Oh, God. I've given up on that. Yeah. I've given up on that goal.
With that Steven Splat art.
Oh, yeah. Especially with that. Good God.
Those boobs scare me.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Buddha looks good all the
time. All right. Anything else on this one? Should we get to the backup in this one?
Yeah, let's get to the conclusion of Shaman's origin.
Yes, origins of Alpha Flight the old ways. Dr. Michael Two Young Men opens a bag containing his grandfather's skull and is confronted with his spirit, who begins teaching him to be a shaman. His final test is to take pine needles from an empty medicine bag, and when he passes, Doctor Strange and the Ancient One applaud from New York. Speaking of Doctor Strange.
Yes. Yeah. They're watching from afar.
But I love that it's like, never look in the bag.
Yeah.
So what you think of this one?
I love this. Like I said, it's great that he had his own kind of like vision quest that he went on, similar to the one that Stephen Strange went on, but one that was more respective to his origins, his roots in Canada, and his native ancestry. I loved that, and the whole thing with his grandfather's spirit was really cool. Yeah, this was great.
He's kind of been.
I kind of almost wish this was a little bit longer. The backup. I would like to see a little bit more of this.
Yeah, because there's like a big gap there. Because I think it said like he's been living like this out in the woods in this cabin for like 10 years.
Yeah, it almost feels like there should have been a middle piece to this origin story, and it should have been 3 parts. It feels like there was a middle piece that's missing. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I really love the character of Shaman, Michael Two Young Men. He's really cool. And he goes through a really complex journey throughout the series of Alpha Flight. Yeah.
And again, just not even like the mystical stuff, just like him in the woods, like, perfecting like his physique and, because.
Yes. Yeah. Really getting in touch with basically what his ancestors did, living off the land, like completely off the land. Yeah.
It says, the doctor kept himself in good physical condition. Now he enters into a regime designed to hone his body to near perfection. At the same time, he learns other skills. Soon he can run full tilt through the forest and startle neither bird nor beast with his passing.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's impressive.
And at the end there, he's in that little loincloth. You're welcome, Justin.
A little eye candy for me.
Although, I mean, again, 10 years have passed. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, but just the art or what, but like in the beginning of this story, when he's like entering the cabin, like his face looks kind of old, but then if you look at him at the end of this story, his face looks kind of younger. So I was like, was that intentional? Was that like a mystical thing, or was that the art?
I wonder if it just meant that like at the beginning of the story he was kind of more haggard looking because he wasn't really taking good care of himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
He was like, he wasn't eating good. He wasn't sleeping well. He wasn't. Yeah. So. Yeah, getting into better shape maybe made him feel and look younger physically. Yeah,
I mean, I'm surprised even like Byrne didn't have him like with a full beard or something in the beginning of the story, and then
I know, right? Yeah, that might have been too close to the Doctor Strange thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Dad, I love it. It's like next time we're gonna have another backup, but we're gonna put the Shaman stuff on hold.
Yes, I guess the next issue has the backup that I was mentioning with the Snowbird's origin story and the reappearance of a character from the first issue of Alpha Flight was quite a surprise.
But yeah, anything else on this issue, or should we get to
the next
one?
I think we can move along. Yeah,
because the next two, the main story is going to be a 2-parter here.
Yes, it's a 2-part story.
All right, so Alpha Flight number 7 from February 1984. The importance of being deadly. So that's how Lilith lives her life.
Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. That's true for guns and penises. Oh, you don't want to know the things I've done.
It's the name of her memoir. The importance of being deadly.
Exactly. No, I was teasing her yesterday. I was like, kids, you don't know Deadly. I slept in the same hotel room with her, with her in the next bed over, snoring like a buzzsaw, like a wild beast. And she was like, she was like, who am I to talk? I'm like, I'm a man. I'm like, people expect me to snore. I'm like, you're a 5'3" woman. I'm like, you're a dainty little woman. She's like, I ain't dainty. I'm like, yeah, I mean small. Grinding up all those souls in her. All right. And yes, I need to put this picture. I need to put those 1 or 2 pictures I put up on social media. Yes, her and my wife and my son. Yes, on our road trip we did Friday night we did have dinner at Five Guys, and I had to take a picture of Lilith under the Five Guys sign. So
yes, I love that. I love that.
And don't let her fool you that she put up a fight. I was like, excuse your sign under your picture under there. She's like, yeah.
It's perfect.
After she finished her hot dog.
After.
All right. So, like I said, Alpha Flight 7, February 84, The Importance of Being Deadly. Writer, penciler, and inker again, John Byrne. He's keeping it up. Andy's still here on colorist. Michael Higgins on letters still. Oh, Denny O'Neill's joining Linda Grant again. Oh, yeah, it was assistant editor's month last month. I forgot. All right. Northstar has taken his sister, Jean Marie, to a doctor who can't find any problems with her, but warns him she may develop a third personality. I mean, that'd have to be pretty middle of the road there, wouldn't it? A third one? Because those first two are kind of polar opposites.
Yeah, I don't think that's how DID works. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just grow another one.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
In flashback, it is revealed that the twins had been raised separately and were only recently reunited. In the street, a mugger takes Jean Marie's purse, triggering her transformation into Aurora. The mugger is bailed out by St. Ives. Northstar's dear friend Belmont takes them to his cafe, which is empty because St. Ives' harassment. He wants to buy the cafe and arrives with thugs. He kills Belmont and with a touch and takes Aurora, mistaking her for Danielle, his Belmont's daughter. In Winnipeg, Alec Thorne meets a woman with an intriguing offer.
Some more subplot stuff.
Yes. All right. So, what did you think of the first story?
I loved this. I liked that we had a little bit of spotlight on Northstar and Aurora. And they're also very complex characters, which I love.
Oh, yeah.
And the introduction of this Raymond Belmont guy, like, I knew from the onset. I was like, okay, so him and Jean-Paul, like, they had a thing. Like, this is... I get it. And I think that John Byrne wanted to make it explicitly known that Northstar was gay, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, the editors were like, no, you can't. Like, this is 84. Like... You can't do that. Like, we're not going to let you do it. So you have to tap dance around the issue. You can allude to it, but you can't explicitly say it.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, J.M.D. Mateus has pretty much came out and told me he's like, it wasn't my idea to not say Arnie Roth. Wasn't
right?
Wasn't gay.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was an editorial thing all day. So
yeah. But John Byrne's original intent was for this character to be gay, and he had written this plot device. Because you can see Jean-Paul's reaction when Belmont says that he has a daughter. He's like, "What? You never told me about a daughter." Like, he's freaking out. Like, and so, and Raymond's like, "Oh, this is from another time when I was living another life." I, being a gay dude, I completely understood all of that. Reading it, I was like, "Yeah, I get it. I get it." And hopefully, other gay people reading it back in 84 kind of picked up on that as well and understood it. And we're like, okay, like we understand why they can't say it, but we're still on board for the ride. Like, this is cool. We can get behind this. We can get behind this character. This is one of us. So that was nice to have that in. I mean, I didn't read this when this came out in 1984, but I can imagine that a young gay kid reading this and reading between the lines in 1984, it was like, okay, this is one of my tribe. This is one of my people here. Like, this is cool. And kind of feel represented in some form or fashion, even though it wasn't explicitly stated. So I love the character of Northstar for that fact, because he was one of the first attempts with Marvel to make the statement that there are gay people.
Yeah, the first time I read this, I mean, it took me a second or two. At first, I was like, how old is Belmont supposed to be? I'm like, was he like a father figure? And then I was like, like you said, when he mentioned the daughter, and he was like, what? How? You have a daughter? I'm like, okay.
He was more like a daddy figure.
Oh, yeah, he was a daddy, all right.
But yeah, I love this, and we have a great cliffhanger ending here. I was really surprised the first time I read this, where they killed Raymond right off, and then Aurora was kidnapped. Yeah, great cliffhanger ending. Yeah,
I love like the as she changes personalities. I love just like the she doesn't have to come out and say, haha, I'm Aurora now. You kind of get that visual transformation.
Yes.
At first, that shirt just the buttons start popping, it starts getting open more and more. Then the hair comes down, the glasses come off. Yeah.
Yes. And little things too with her, like her body language, like the way that her eyes, like the way she looks at people as well. Yeah. It's really cool little subtle things that are done with the artwork to illustrate that.
Yeah. I do like that. Yeah, with Byrne telling that through the art instead of just having her say, "Oh, I'm the other person now."
Yeah. By the way, yeah. I feel like that was well done. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this St. Ives, who basically kills someone with a touch.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see more of them for sure.
But yeah, Aurora gets thrown. I just love Northstar in that last page. See the anger on his face. It's like
the man is angry.
This guy just just basically without thinking just killed a good friend of his, kidnapped his sister. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, St. Ives is dead.
Yeah. And that was another thing that made me think that they had a romantic relationship, him and Raymond. It was like, he wouldn't want to kill this dude for any other reason other than that.
Yeah.
Other than they were really close friends. I mean, yeah. No, I knew right off the bat. And I love it. Yeah, it made me definitely want to read what happened in the next issue, for sure.
Oh, yeah. And then that interlude.
Yeah. Delphine Courtney.
Alec Thorne, or should I say Smart Alec of Camouflage?
Smart Alec. There's a great code name, huh? I love it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be my superhero name, Smartass.
Smart. What actually happens to Smart Alec, though, is pretty horrifying. When I read this earlier, I was like, oh, yeah, Smart Alec. And then I remember what happened. I was like, oh, damn, Smart Alec. You poor bastard.
So it's actually interesting because Byrne kind of is giving us these 1 issue or 2 issue spotlights on like characters, like individual members of the team, and then doing the backup stories also. But also we're getting like at least like 2-page interludes that's kind of moving stuff along to like where we're going to get to like, as we get closer to 12.
Yeah. The big stuff happening. Yeah. Definitely. The overarching plot is still moving forward, definitely, with these subplots and interludes. And that was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was super.
All right. Should we get to this backup?
Yeah. Let a child be born.
Yes. All right. 15 years ago, in an archaeological dig, a metal headband is found. Late that night, Richard Easton dons it and is confronted by the gods, Hodiak, Nelvana, and Turok the Shaper. He spends one night with a beautiful Nelvana, only to reappear on Earth 9 years later. The experience and loss of time drives him insane. Nelvana then appears to Michael Two Young Men, who helps her give birth to Naria. She is to fight the beasts that threaten the world. And yes, kids, that baby is Snowbird.
Yes.
I just love it. Yeah, he has one night with the goddess drove him insane. So yeah, kids, that was quite the
superior puss.
He woke up 9 years later from it.
Talk about your post-nut clarity. I mean, you woke up 9 years later. Remember, kids, the gods do not make love as we mortals do.
Gotta give him that hook to it. Spit on that
Oh, God.
hook to it.
Somehow I don't think that Nelvana said that.
No.
But she just about did. She was like, we need your seed. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Jeez. Oh, my goodness.
Mm.
Wow. What am I reading here?
Yeah,
I love it. But this guy, this guy who I guess for all intents and purposes could be considered Snowbird's dad.
Well, yeah, he gave the seed, so...
Right. He is the one whom we see in the first issue of Alpha Flight, who is drawing the weird circle way up in the northern landscape of Canada, and who summons Tundra.
Yes.
At the cost of his own life. So, yeah, he's... One night with Nelvana drove him nuts.
And again, you knew it was coming. Well, hail. Because, asking for the seed. She's standing there naked. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And before that, he sees the other spirits, like, around him, the Hodiak and all this stuff. Like, yeah, I think this dude was a little bit tapped out to begin with, and this experience just didn't help matters.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, shit. Oh yeah, they really give him the whole full sale. I need the precious seed of humanity buried within you. Precious.
Precious. Is that like sanctity of life, precious?
I guess. I don't know. Who knows? No.
All right.
So basically, and then, like we said, Shaman basically helps, deliver her. So Shaman's like the big connection between most of our Alpha Flight crew here.
Right.
Because again, I mean, there's a connection between him and Snowbird. There's a connection between him and Heather.
Yeah. I think him and Puck go back a ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Sasquatch, Walter.
Yeah.
They go to school together or
maybe
something.
I can't remember. But Shaman is the big connector here.
He's the link. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's what I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's like the one of the only members we don't see in any shape or form in these issues is Sasquatch.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah. Well, they were coming back from doing that stuff with the Master of the World.
Yeah.
And I think that after this Northstar and Aurora story, I think he's next.
Maybe, yeah.
For his Spotlight story. Yeah,
because we're going to be, I think, I forget when they start, but we're going to be rolling towards 12 here, and we all know what happens in 12.
The big epic conclusion.
Yeah, somebody, one of the members don't walk away from issue 12.
Yep. That was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
we got to cover that next year or something.
Especially like back then, it was like, and it's not like they brought that character back like in a month or 6 months or even a year or two. It's
even a year.
Yeah, no.
Even
it took a few years. I mean, But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, for all intent for a good bit of this series, till like the 80s or 90s in the issue wise in the series.
The early, yeah.
I mean, that character was gone. So as far as if you were reading this at the time, you thought, that character's dead.
Yeah, I think it was right around issue 100 that they brought him back.
Yeah,
if I remember right, or maybe right before it. But it was a long time. Certainly, by today's comic book standards, it was like a permanent death.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was like an Uncle Ben death.
That's all right. That's all right. They'll keep that character alive in the Mexican comics. Inside joke, kids. I had read that before that kids in the Spider-Man Mexican comics that they did not kill off Gwen Stacy when they killed her up here. Yeah, I knew that part, but they're like, they gave her like a big ass too. I was like, oh my God. Now that's a trademark you need. Forget that headband.
Yeah, right. And they didn't have the comics code to worry about. They were like, the hell with it.
Hear about the comics code when Justin and I talked to Tom DeFalco on Capes and Lunatics episode 333.
Yes. That was a great interview.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
To bug him more often. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll you know what we need to do if we can work it out? We need to get him and Ron Friends on at the same time.
That'd be great. And get Russell on, too, because Russell, I'm sure, has a bunch of questions about Hobgoblin for those two.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I love that idea.
Because I think, it's like Roger Stern started that Hobgoblin thing, but it's like, I believe, like, DeFalco asked him, it's like, who's the Hobgoblin? Who did you have? And I think he told him, and, Yeah. I think DeFalco had planned to go with Roger Stern's original plan, but then once they got kicked off the book, they were,
Yeah. There was a lot of cooks in the kitchen when it came to that.
Yeah.
The early Hobgoblin stuff, yeah.
All right. We ready to do the last one?
Yes.
All right. The Alpha Flight number 8 from March 1984. Cold Hands, Cold Heart. I think we got the same team as last time here. Northstar is out for vengeance! ! His friend has been killed and his sister kidnapped by the villain, Deadly Ernest. I wanted to say Ernest. Deadly Ernest. He shoots through the sky at supersonic speeds before arriving at Ernst's mansion. Crashing through the window, Northstar is surprised at first by the lack of security. He makes his way to Ernst's office and is surprised to find that his sister, Aurora, seems to be there of her own free will. Before he can say anything, he is knocked out from behind. Aurora tells Ernst that Northstar is her cousin. When Northstar awakens, he finds himself in a bedroom with a sword at his throat. A new hero, Nemesis... Nemesis has entered the fray. Northstar explains to her who he is, and the two join forces to fight Ernst. As the two escape the locked room, Deadly Ernest reveals his origins. Ernst was a soldier during World War I. He found himself trapped in a trench with mustard gas descending upon him. Death approaches him, but Ernst fights her off and wins, granting him immortality. When a fellow soldier attempts to help him out of the pit, the soldier is killed instantly at Ernst's touch. This was the first manifestation of his new powers. Before Ernst can reveal more, Northstar and Nemesis attack. Seeing the opportunity to end her ruse, Aurora joins them in the attack. Nemesis cuts off Ernst's arm and the fight is ended. Northstar pulls off Nemesis' mask and is shocked to find a familiar face. But it's not revealed who she is in this book, though.
Not in this. Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be later on.
Nemesis knocks him out and Aurora allows her to leave. Northstar and Aurora are next seen flying together to tie up some loose ends. They come upon Danielle Belmont, where Aurora reveals her to be Ernst's partner. Aurora knocks her out, and Danielle is seen being taken into custody by the police. And they don't even mention like that final scene where they're like flying away, and where Northstar says to her, he was surprised. He was like, how do you put it? He's like, I didn't know if like you had like slept with him to get him on your side, because this personality is a little more flirty and it's a little more.
Yeah.
And she's like, how dare you? You of all people, how dare you?
Yeah. They get into quite a tiff at the end of this, and she flies off in a huff. Yeah, that's pretty ugly stuff. They have an up and down relationship as well over the course of this series.
Yeah,
these two. Yeah, this isn't the first time they have a falling out,
but
or the last.
No.
Yeah, and I love the character Nemesis. I thought Nemesis was really cool.
Oh yeah,
with that mystical sword and stuff.
I like the look too. Yeah, Nemesis. Yeah.
Yeah, the look was cool because kind of almost like a Spider-Man mask, a little bit.
That's so funny. Yeah,
face.
there was like one panel where you see the mask from the side. I was like, that looks like Scarlet's Spider mask.
Yeah. It's very Spider-Man-esque. But I love that long flowing cape.
Yes.
And the cool, just the color design of the black and red is really striking, really cool.
Because I
love the design of Nemesis.
I do like that look with like the long cape with like the characters with like swords and stuff, like Nemesis, Citizen V.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that
definitely.
look. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I love the design of Nemesis. Very cool character. And another nice mystery. Another nice subplot that will come up later on. Another unsolved mystery that we'll see more of later. Yeah, it was great. In these first few issues of Alpha Flight, we have all these great kind of mysteries within mysteries and subplots going on. Mm-hmm. It definitely keeps the reader, if you haven't read this before, it definitely keeps you interested to keep coming back and reading the next issue and seeing what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't even remember who Nemesis was, but I just looked it up. There was a link. Okay, yeah. I remember now, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's an intimate relation of Deadly Ernest.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, the synopsis didn't mention a few things, like that sword, which is only like a micron thick, so it can basically cut through anything.
Yeah, even atoms. Yeah.
Or a person, as we saw what happened to Deadly Ernest. I mean, after the hand comes off, man, she slices him into pieces.
Yeah, get completely bisected. Yeah, but believe it or not, he does return. Spoilers. Yeah, that's actually a Mike Mignola issue that he comes back in. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I'm going to want to read through Alpha Flight again. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on that one, or should we get to the last backup?
No, yeah, I think we can move on to that.
All right. Origins of Alpha Flight Genesis. Years ago, the newlywed Hudsons visit Heather's old family friend, Michael Two Young Men, now living out in the wilderness with a mysterious young woman called Narya, whom he has been raising since delivering her birth. At night, Heather witnesses Narya's transformation to an owl to hunt for a nighttime snack, leading to Michael confessing to the mystical nature of his activities over the last few years. Learning about their strange abilities, James offers them a place with Department H.
Yep. The beginnings of Alpha Flight.
I saw her turn into an owl.
It's me, your old pal, the owl.
Yeah, she's just flying around looking to get a little exercise. No big deal.
But yeah, I love like the mystery because Heather's like, wait a minute. She's like, that girl, he's been kind of with her since she was born. She's like, but she looks 20. She's like, and I've known him since in that time frame, and she was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, and plus she's got to recognize that she physically looks different. Like her eyes are different, like her stature, everything about her is unique.
Yeah, pretty smart for a child bride there.
Yeah, I know that panel of her and Mac together naked I was like, oh god.
I know.
Jeez, how old is she in this? That's all I can think about is how old is that poor girl in this?
Yeah, because again, this is like early. I mean, no Alpha Flight yet, so.
Yeah. Didn't he wait for her to turn like 18 or something so he could marry her? Something crazy like that.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, to marry her.
Oh.
But again, it's a burn issue because again, it's Heather and Mac are like sleeping in their vehicle or whatever. It looks like they're both naked, and Nara is running through the woods naked.
Running through the woods naked in the middle of the night. Yeah.
So you got plenty of burn in this issue.
Yes, I just looked at the next two issues. Those are both the
Sasquatch
versus the Super Skrull.
Oh yeah,
which you actually joined us for, I believe, on Gamma Charge a while back. I think.
No, not these ones. We did the Hulk issues when Joe Fixit fought the Super Skrull.
Oh, that's
that's the ones we covered. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should put some of those on the list too, because I think Namor runs into him at some point too. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, Byrne must love that Super Skrull. I mean,
yes.
Not that the Hulk one was his Hulk, but the Alpha Flight and the Namor work.
Yeah, he's a great villain.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just saw the cover in 9. Yes, I do see Sasquatch on the cover there.
Yeah, 9 and 10 are both Sasquatch spotlight, and then we go straight back to the team for 11 and 12. They're reunited for the big epic. Yeah. Gamma Flight. Or is it Omega Flight?
Oh, I can't remember. Is it Gamma Flight? Or is it... I'm trying to remember. Did Omega come later? I can't remember. Well, did you ever read... It was like... I think it was around 2006 or so. They kind of... Instead of Alpha Flight, they kind of tried to do a new superhero team. It was it Omega Flight, I think, maybe? But it was like U.S. Agents, Julia Carpenter. Oh, God, who else was on there? Was it Beta Ray Bill?
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah,
I think did that have Beta Ray Bill?
Yeah.
And yeah, I still need to check that out.
But I don't think that team ever lasted longer than that miniseries.
It was just like a 5-issue miniseries, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
That sounded interesting. That sounded like it had some promise.
Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, it's on... Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, it's on the app. Yeah, 2007. Here. And Talisman was on the team. Oh, and Vindicator. Yeah. There.
Yeah, I remember that. That one.
Yeah.
I remember that they had a few members from the Alpha Flight team.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'd love to cover that one sometime. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read that. Boy, they're really going for an Avengers vibe there. Because, I mean, you got U.S. Agent, was your Captain America, you got Beta Ray Bill was your Thor.
Spider-Woman.
Yeah. I mean, Vindicator could almost be your Iron Man, yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Talisman.
Covering all the bases.
Talisman is like your Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always felt that Alpha Flight is more in line with the Avengers than with the X-Men.
Yes.
To me, they are like Canada's Avengers.
They kind of just get lumped in, I think, because they do, like Wolverine, is kind of tied in there like early on. So
yeah, and I mean they do have the two mutants on the team. Northstar and Aurora are mutants, so there's that link as well.
And like the first mention of them is like in the X-Men and stuff,
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I think overall though they have more in common with the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
Thematically, and symbolically.
Because that's like anyone who doesn't know who Alpha Flight is. That's if they ask me, "Oh, who's Alpha Flight?" That's my first thing. I'm just like, "Oh, they're basically the Canadian Avengers."
Yeah, definitely, with much less members comparatively.
Not a lot of superheroes in Canada. Come
on.
Yeah. Oh, that would be funny. Be like, "Oh, why do you want to join Alpha Flight? I couldn't get in the Avengers."
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Justin?
No, I think that we covered most of the good parts. I enjoyed coming back to Alpha Flight. We'll have to do it again. Yeah.
Because once again, I mean, we'll have to do 9 through 12. We got to at least get to number 12. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, we got to do that end epic. The end of one of the members of the team, anyway, for a while.
Exactly. All right, so let's get your homework here, kids. All right, so that's right. Next, in 1 week, part 1 of Atlantis Attacks.
Yes.
So it'll be Silver Surfer Annual 2 and Iron Man Annual 10 with a certain Wet Biscuit on the cover. On the cover of that Iron. Oh, I got to make that one the cover art. I have to make that one the cover art.
Yeah. That's some great. I think Bob Layton artwork in that one.
I think yeah.
Right? Yeah. Makes me so happy. Yes, the adventure begins. Atlantis Attacks. And we'll be running for 2 whole months here on Marvel Tales.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah. 9 weeks, kids.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've got the What If as well at the end.
Yeah, yep. Well, yeah. Because we have the last annual and then the What If for the last week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. So we're going to have a great time.
So basically from now until October, we're doing Atlantis Attacks.
Yes. Get ready, kids. It's going to be a bumpy ride. No, actually, it's going to be really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Most of Atlantis Attacks I have really fond memories of.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of the annuals that I was like, I'm not really into this. But most of it, I really enjoyed.
We also get Daredevil Annual. Is it number 5? Is it number 4?
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Oops.
So, yes, kids. Next 9 weeks, this show's going to be a splash zone. So
Yes, send in your thoughts on Atlantis Attacks. And if this is your first time reading it,
yes,
make sure to send in your thoughts as well. I'd love to hear any first time impressions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, Ray. I know you read this. Come on. All right. So yes, send us all your feedback. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, get your new Capes and Lunatics merch.
The new gear. Get it all.
Yes.
And the classic as well.
I walked around HersheyCon with this shirt. Yes.
Nice.
I said me and Loth must have made an impression on someone because, like, was it that night or the next night? Like, we sold I think 2 T-shirts and like a hoodie of like the old logo. I was like, what?
Oh,
so
very impressive.
I mean, unless Ray needs a refill or something, I don't know. But yeah, then I said to Loth, "Where's your shirt?" She goes, "Oh, I left it on the chair at home." I'm like, "Oh, that's a good place for it." Although I couldn't lose her at the con. I mean, she was wearing bright orange, so.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
All right. So, yes, get all the new merch. Again, Rain ran the money on us through the Cash App link as per the demands of Lilith Hellfire.
Make it rain.
Yes, please pretend we are that young girl dancing away through a Canadian strip club. Try not to get picked up by the head of Department H.
Yeah, it's like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
Yeah, don't make her get drugs.
Oh,
the hospital up in Toronto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We
don't need any of that stuff happening.
Yes. And of course, the Patreon, where again you find something different from me and Lilith every month. I believe the July episode, Lilith and I are going to talk about our road trip and
ooh, yeah.
see if I can salvage any of this.
The road trip tales.
See if I can salvage any of this audio from when we talked to Chichester. It's kind of loud. There's kind of too much of a lot of background noise, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, if anything, we'll give you a play-by-play. So
nice.
All right. So so find it all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right, and now the king of podcasting, Mr. Justin the Owl. You can find him here every week on Marvel Tales. You can find him now once a month, and then next year more than once, at least twice.
More than that,
at least twice on X-Men Classics. You can hear him also on this feed once a month on Energon Universe with me and Russell talking all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe content coming from Image. You can also hear him at least once a month on We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast,
talking all things Azrael. And then every so often you can hear him on Electric Mullet, where he pops in from time to time, and I'm sure he will be coming up here soon when we do the 3-part Exile.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, where we still continue to do his plugs.
I love that, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just like, how should we do this? How should we do this? All right. So, but yes, as we say, yes, Capes and Lunatics is not the only place you can catch him. So, Justin, where else can people find you on these shows?
These shows, yes, Gamma Charge, the strongest Marvel podcast there is. Russell and I talk about the Hulk every month. We have a Patreon, so do check that out if you're so inclined. And this month, we will be putting out an interview with writer David Pepose, talking with him about the Hulk annual that he wrote last year, as well as his time writing Weapon H on the Savage Avengers title. And we're also joined by the High Priest of Khonshu Ray on Predator and Prey, where we are currently discussing some of the classic Predator comics from Dark Horse. And my solo show, The Lost Library of Legends, coming soon, will be a retrospective on a 90s title from Image called Wildstar.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
Exactly.
Double biscuits for me.
Oh God! You sent me that quick clip the other day. I was like, oh God, tell me it's more drunk Justin, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's naughty.
No, it's just a Cobra Commander figure.
I know.
Yeah.
Cobra! La, 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 la. Talking about meat is so natural for Lilith.
Hey, man.
Tap, tap, tapping my way downtown. Superior puss.
An old classic.
So not convincing.
Well, that escalated quickly.
All right, kids. I love how we cracked this other up just with our own voices. All right, kids, thank you for joining us again in 1 week. Atlantis Attacks.
Atlantis Attacks begins. Put your scuba gear on. It's going to get wet.
All right, week 1, Silver Surfer, Iron Man, and a little bit of Namor. Goes a long way, huh? All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, don't do drugs, eh?
Yeah, no drugs.
Eh?